Hey everyone, before I start the video I just wanted to thank everyone who commented and gave me feedback from the last video. I really appreciate it and it made me feel warm and fuzzy that most people thought it was a good idea. Anyway, I don't want to make this unnecessarily long, so thanks again for all your feedback, and here's 2006. I originally took this picture because the Essence banknote that I was holding wasn't displaying properly. There's supposed to be an image of a tiny essence, but as you can see the banknote's just purely a note. However, this picture is interesting for more than that. See, back in this day, players had only a few options to run nature runes. They could use the Abyss, or they could use the general store. The general store method involved selling noted essence to a general store and then buying it back. However, this also caused some problems. Occasionally, players who didn't want to sell their own essence would try to steal other players' essence from the general store. This is another bug where someone killed a market guard, but it didn't immediately disappear. It couldn't move, and I couldn't attack it, but it kept saying stuff as if it was alive. After about 5 seconds, it disappeared. I took this when I had just defeated a boss in the Desert Treasure quest. If you look carefully, you'll see that my non-combat stats were pretty low because of one of the effects of the bosses. Desert Treasure was the second master quest I did after Monkey Madness. It took me just as long to complete this quest, but I found it a lot more fun. This is the first whip I ever bought. By this time, whips were becoming a lot more commonplace, but they still held a lot of prestige, kinda like a Santa hat or Halloween mask would have today. Personally, I think it's kinda funny that the whip has the exact same price back then as it does today. You won't see this very often today. After one of my good friends persuaded me to let him try on my Santa hat and then he logged out, I knew I needed to get another one. I made the money for this one by rune crafting and also by buying the runes in magic shops and then selling them on the forums for more. Unfortunately, from this time on, I was pretty paranoid with my items. I wouldn't let any of my friends borrow an item worth about 1 mil or more simply because I didn't want to lose another good friend and I didn't want to lose another item. Prior to the update that changed Essence to Pure and Regular Essence, the Essence mines were a very popular place for Ottawers. Ottawers were usually very obvious because they were level 3, they had the default yellow shirt and green pants, they were often bald, and their names were incredibly complicated. This is a picture of a forum mob messing up royally. It's also a picture of the official forums before they were completely revamped. This is a small glitch I had when Pest Control first came out. If you look carefully, you'll see that the image is split down the screen so that it repeats. If you compare it to the minimap, it's particularly obvious. Probably the best total level in the game. Wow, this picture has so much in it. That's how Varrock Center used to look, that's how imps used to look, that's how the control interface used to look, etc, etc. One of my really good friends gave me this as a late birthday present. Surprisingly, those unfinished willow longbows are the reason I started making videos. The first video I ever made was how to sell items very quickly to a general store. Unfortunately, this video later got a copyright claim by Jagex and was taken down. I do, however, still have a copy of it on my website. This was the changed theme of the main screen that accompanied the release of Construction. The plane of Runescape was filled with chaos and excitement with the release of Construction. Literally every regular, oak, teak, and mahogany tree in all of Runescape was being cut down at this time. Planks of any kind went for outrageous prices. In fact, I even remember selling oak planks for 1 to 2k each. Only the very richest players could afford to buy supplies for construction during this time because construction was simply absurdly expensive. The skill itself was often seen as a rush job because there were many bugs and glitches that accompanied the release of it. Overnight, players became infamous for abusing glitches from the new skill. One group in particular created a video called The Hack House, which was very popular for a short while. However, the most famous incident occurred when Cursed You became the first player to level 99 construction. A small group of players gain the ability to attack players outside of houses. What proceeded to occur is generally known as the Falador Massacre. A recording of the incident soon after went viral, as it showed a player killing other helpless players for their items. Ironically, this event occurred on 666 in some parts of America. I took this picture when I was stringing bows in the Edgeville Bank. This group of players came in and just started spamming the entire bank, and then they ran away about 5 seconds later. I still don't know why they did it. If you notice, I've got an unfinished bow in the bottom right corner of my inventory. This was because there wasn't a string X option at the time. To string bows, you just had to click on the unfinished bow on the bowstring as quickly as you could. Yet another bug involving construction. Although relatively unknown today, Novalife was a celebrity back in 2006. He captured the #1 spot on the high scores list for a day before quitting. With this simple message, a new era of my Runescape life began. Before the creation of the player moderator room, all meetings had to be held in obscure public places. This meant that we were occasionally interrupted by curious adventurers. The JX mods always handled it well, but they also knew how to have fun too. Before the release of skill capes, there was little incentive to get to level 99, except the prestige of having a level 99 skill. Firemaking was rarely trained to very high levels. As you can see, I'm ranked 10,000 at only level 78. Compared to today, that's a huge change. The release of the worn inventory screen also accompanied a radical change to many other features of the game. Many players ranted about the ugly orange text in the stats interface, and it was later changed back to yellow. I seem to have a knack for getting free stuff from quitting people. This is from the quest My Arm's Big Adventure. I did this one the day it came out, and you've got no idea how hard I tried to pick up that chain body. Another example of random kindness that just can't happen today. Previously ranked #1 in construction. The release of Hunter was similar to the shockwaves sent out through by the release of Construction. I remember watching players sell relatively worthless hunting equipment for outrageously inflated prices. However, I also remember being grasped by the competition of the highest ranks in Hunter. Imagine hunting today and make it around 5 times more difficult because of other players stealing your animals. That's what it was like back then, and I loved it. In just a day or two, I had reached level 60 and was ranked in the top 1,000 or so. Could you make anything out of this fur that I got from hunting? Another example of the shenanigans that went on during the mod meetings. Runecrafting through the Abyss was a dangerous occupation. There were often players who would attempt to kill you for your glory amulet as you went into the Abyss. Therefore, it was common practice to have a one-click teleport so you could get out quickly. This was a bug I got after I teleported to the Ecta Functus. As you can see, my minimap is still in Edgeville, but my character is actually in the Ecta Functus. As you may be able to tell, I wasn't a big fan of farming back in 2006. A majority of the experience I got going to level 85 was thanks to fletching. I actually made a pretty good amount of money. "99 Fletching was without doubt the most difficult and the most satisfying level I've ever gotten. I didn't get any epic fireworks, I didn't get a skill cape, I didn't even have a party, but I don't think anything will replace the feeling I felt that day. Well, I hope you all enjoyed looking at my pictures from 2006. So, you know that getting 99 Fletching was one of my favorite memories, but what about you? What are your favorite memories from RuneScape? Leave a comment telling me about it, I'd love to hear it. If you'd like to talk to me in-game, I always hang out in the clan chat Skills Spree. Also, feel free to check out my website. I've provided a link in the description. Thank you very much for watching. I wasn't sure when I first created these videos that they would be popular, but seeing the positive response that everyone has given me, I think I want to keep going with 2007, so you can expect that shortly. Thanks again and take care.